Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the film Honey Don't, directed by Ethan Coen and Trisha Cook. I still haven't got round to watching this husband and wife team's previous collaboration, Drive Away Dolls, but I've long admired the films of the Coen brothers, and the idea of even one Coen definitely sparks interest. Unfortunately, while the film has flashes of style and humour, it falls far short of the sharpness, depth and coherence we usually associate with a Coen brothers film. I did kind of know this from some of the reviews, so my expectations were quite low, and I actually quite enjoyed it more than I expected, a little more. The film doesn't take itself too seriously. I don't think it's trying to be a typical Coen brothers film. It is quite light really, part noir, part comedy, but at times it does have some extreme violence. The setting is Bakersfield in California. It's presented as a faded, run-down corner of America. I liked the opening credits, which showed us views of run-down buildings with the actors' names inserted into the scenes, for example, as the names of shops or buildings. The central character is a private detective, Honey, played by Margaret Qualley. Against the rather dour backdrop, Honey herself is colourful, larger than life. Qualley plays her as laid back, almost airy, but with flashes of real steel. She's whimsical and badass in equal measure, and definitely the thing I enjoyed most about this film. Elsewhere, the cast is less well served. Aubrey Plaza, who I really like as an actor, has surprisingly little to work with. And Chris Evans, he plays a character so exaggerated that it just tips into outright silliness. The story sprawls, weighed down by too many strands, loose ends and red herrings. The narrative never quite gels and the tone shifts from humour to queerness to violence. Somehow it never quite feels balanced. Thematically, it flirts with big ideas, religion, sexuality, violence, but the treatment is shallow. The religious imagery feels less like a critique than an attempt to shock. It feels more provocative than profound. The queer elements, while refreshing in a noir context, often feel like set dressing rather than the core of the film. Honey shares a bed scene with Aubrey Plaza's character, MG. It seems intended as a tender moment. Sentimental music plays. The two have what looks like an honest conversation, and the film briefly pauses its chaos. But it doesn't quite land. The emotion feels surface level, lacking the depth needed to make the scene resonate. One quirky moment that stood out for me was a sharp line about the police. They don't all look like Tom of Finland, it was said. On the surface, it's a funny, camp aside, but Tom of Finland isn't just a throwaway reference. His homoerotic drawings of leather-clad policemen and hyper-masculine figures are iconic in queer culture, a radical reclamation of authority symbols once used to oppress. In a film as whimsical as Honey Don't, the weight of that reference almost jars. It hints at a deeper queer politics and history that the film gestures toward but never fully engages with. The film isn't a disaster. It's around 90 minutes, so it didn't feel like it was asking too much of me. There's a playful energy that suggests Coen and Cook are having fun. I think that some may admire that lightness, that sense of not taking itself too seriously, but for me, I came away with the nagging feeling of squandered potential. Honey Don't had the ingredients to be a smart, subversive noir with a real bite. Instead, it's a film of fragments. Flashes of brilliance, a central performance worth remembering, but ultimately a story that never pulls itself quite together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.